That was
That's so
really
shitty.
unnecessary.
I know.
What are we doing here?
This is my car, okay? This is my car.
I understand this is your car.
Sorry.
You switch seats with her.
Protect my sister. She's
It doesn't.
my
It
sister.
does not matter.
So, I mean, I feel bad. I mean, your older sister, you want to protect your little sibling.
Where's my daughter?
The other one?
They're not taking my car.
Oh yes, they are.
Hi guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today you have me, Shahina, and Jim. We will be watching a video. It's some sort of criminal video, I'm hoping. And then at the end of the video, we will be rating all the officers. But during the video, we'll be definitely providing you with our opinions and probably some advice for the viewers out there. And make sure at the end of the video, please leave us a comment or what you think of the video.
3303. Send me a code 10. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Why are you switching seats here?
This is my car. I'm sorry. This is my car.
So why are you in the back seat now? I'm literally walking up to the car, watching you get into the back seat, and you were just driving doing 90 down Del Prado.
I'm really sorry. I'm sorry. This is my car, okay? This is my car.
I understand this is your car.
I'm sorry. We're just trying to get home because we're...
Doing 90?
I'm really sorry. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're just trying to go home. Our parents have been calling us since 2 a.m. to get home. And
Okay. Give me your license and registration.
I'll give you my license and
No,
registration.
no. No. It does not work like that.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, I'm sorry.
She was the one that was driving. I seen her
I
driving.
understand that, but
Okay.
this is my car.
It doesn't matter whose car it is.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
You can't take a citation or anything or an arrest for her. She has to do that.
Okay.
You weren't the one that was driving that I observed driving, in which if I go to court, I would have to testify for that.
Okay.
I'm not gonna.
Okay, let's stop here. Now, just to gather some information, I know we didn't see the violations. Seems like they were speeding,
Yep.
and then they got pulled over. And once they pulled over, cops walking up to the car, but they switched seats.
Magical chairs.
Musical chairs.
Oh,
Right?
yeah, never mind. I like
Someone
magical
had
more, though.
He had a tough childhood, clearly.
Never got to play that game. But, the officer's got a point. Moving on. It's who's operating the motor vehicle at the time of the violation. And,
Right.
It's funny because I've seen some musical chairs being played with some of our DUI cases, and that typically does not work
It does
very
not,
well.
and it doesn't go well either.
No. But I liked how she was smiling.
She's so cute. But here's the thing, right? When you do that, and I think these are some things that we have said previously in the video, rather than just going along with it, like committing these type of other offenses is just going to aggravate a simple speeding ticket, right?
Right.
So
Because she
don't-
could be charged with, I guess, obstructing here.
Yeah, obstruction or
Mhm.
I don't know if it gets worse, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll see if it does.
I'm gonna lie in court. I'm not gonna perjure myself.
I understand
That's a
that.
misdemeanor in the state of Florida,
I
and I'm not gonna risk my job for that, nor my certification.
No, of course, I understand that.
You want them out?
Yeah.
You guys want to step out of the car?
Do we really need to step out?
Absolutely. Stand over here in the back of the car. So why did you guys switch seats?
She's my sister.
Oh.
I'm 17. I have my learning. She's 17. This is my car. It's under my name. My registration, everything is under my name.
So you thought it would be a good idea to just switch seats?
I didn't want my sister to get in trouble.
That's
what?
nice.
Because I have my learner's permit. I don't have my license. She does, yeah. I have my license, so I'm 18 years old. And this
Oh.
car's under my name. And everything's under my name.
You're 17 years old and you get pulled over. That's all it is a ticket.
I understand that, but we were just trying to get home.
You been drinking tonight?
No,
You sure you haven't?
barely. No.
What's barely?
Barely.
I don't know.
I just
Oh, no.
Okay, so the sister is 17. The younger sister is 17. If she were to get pulled over in Illinois, I don't know what the Florida law is. It's going to be driving without a valid driver's license.
Right.
It's still a Class A misdemeanor, which is equivalent to a DUI, which is also a Class A misdemeanor, depending on if there's aggravating
It could be a
factors,
felony,
right? Yeah,
yeah.
it could be a felony if it is if there are any aggravating factors. If the little sister is under the influence of alcohol while not possessing a driver's license and it's zero tolerance,
Right.
she's going to be in some serious, serious trouble. But not as serious as it's going to get, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like this is off to a pretty rocky start for these two.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad. I mean, your older sister, you want to protect your little sibling.
yeah, and
right?
I mean, I think I overheard did the officer, how much did you have to drink tonight?
Yeah, and she said barely. She's
Barely.
also 18.
Right. So, I mean, they're both, in the state of Illinois at least, under the zero tolerance law.
Correct.
If somebody's getting pulled over and you're under 21, the legal limit for you is 0.00.
Mm-hmm.
So that answer barely right there, I'm nervous about
I know, yeah.
how this is going to go. But good on the sister for at least trying to be a real G and not snitch on her sister. I got to give her that.
Yeah.
Just took one drink.
Uh-oh.
That's why my sister was driving.
All right, what I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to ask you to participate in field sobriety exercises. Okay, are you willing to participate?
Yes. What is that?
Okay, field sobriety is to make sure that because here's the thing, you're in possession of the vehicle when I walked up, you're in the driver's seat, right? I saw you guys switching seats. You decided to switch over.
I just didn't want her to get in trouble.
Well, that's too late for that one.
Okay.
All right. Now, are you willing to participate in field sobriety?
Yeah.
Okay. What I want you to do is see this LED pin?
Yes.
Okay. I want you to follow it with your eyes only. Do you understand so far?
Yes.
Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. All right. So what I want you to do, okay, we're going to use this line here, okay? Okay, you're going to take 9 heel-toe steps. I'm going to
Skip
demonstrate
the
it as well,
HGM.
okay?
Yeah.
You're going to be looking down at your feet. You're going to hold your hands down at your sides, okay, over here, okay? No using your arms for balance or anything like that. Keep your hands down at your sides. You're going to, while you're taking these steps, you're going to count out each step, okay? Well, okay?
I'm really nervous right
Hmm.
now. I've never been
So before she starts that, do you want to talk about why she has to do the field sobriety test if she was not driving?
Well, yeah, so my estimation of it is the officer's having her run through it because she put herself in actual physical control of the vehicle. So in the state of Illinois, granted this is Florida, there's components that a prosecutor has to prove for a DUI, and those components would be either you were driving or an actual physical control of the vehicle. Now, there's a lot of cases here in the state of Illinois about what is actual physical control of a vehicle. But for purposes of this video, I saw her dash was on, so she had the keys in the ignition, or maybe it was a remote start, but she had them close enough that the car was seemingly running,
Correct.
which would be enough for actual physical control. I mean, there's so many cases, if you're sleeping in like a back seat of your car for a DUI, you can still get one, even if
Right.
you're asleep, as long as your keys are in there with you.
That's true. And she was in the driver's seat.
Exactly.
I had a case, I believe like last year or a year and a half, where my client got out of the bar, and it's the middle of winter. So he got out of the bar. He sat in the front driver's seat and he opened his phone to call an Uber, but falls asleep.
Oh,
The car is running, but he falls asleep. The officer knocks on the window because at this time the establishment closed. So now he was arrested
man.
for DUI, even though he was like, his intention was to get out of there but not drive.
right. That's rough. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I feel like I see that. I see that happening. And I mean, I feel like the best thing to do is probably take your keys and chuck them in a bush if you're going to sleep in
You
your
can't
car.
even do that.
Yeah, I
According
know.
to case law, like if you're even in the back seat and you throw your keys in the bushes, you still have control of the vehicle because you can always go find your keys and drive away.
Get in the trunk.
No, just sleep on the side of the road at this point.
ever in my entire life. So
Okay.
I'm really nervous right now.
Okay. All right. Let's get back into the position I explained here, okay? Left foot on the line, right foot in front of your left foot. Okay?
Oh.
All right. Hold that position. Don't start yet. Okay? Do you want to go back a little bit?
I think it's so wrong
There you
that
go.
they'll even hold
Alright,
that against
Left foot on the
you.
line.
I know.
Put your,
Yeah.
Right there.
okay, stay in that position. Do not move, okay? I'm going to explain now, okay? What you're going to do, you're going to take 9 heel-toe steps, okay? Do you understand so far? Do you have any questions? Okay, you may begin. $14, $15,
Oh,
$16,
no.
$17, $18, $19.
And I'm assuming your parents both know where.
No what?
Do they know where you guys were?
Yeah. They knew we were at a party and we had a curfew, so we were just trying to get home because they were not already calling us. So
You guys were out 3 hours past your curfew? Why?
I don't know. And we our phones weren't on us. They were in a room, so we were just outside hanging with our friends. And then when we went back inside, we realized the time and our phones were blown up with text messages and stuff.
She keeps
Oh,
going. Oh,
no.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Are you done? Or are you gonna keep going?
I don't know how long was I supposed to go.
You said you understood the instructions he told you, right?
Okay.
But I didn't know. This is my first time being stopped, so I don't know when.
Well, I explained it to you,
And you said you
and you
understood,
said
correct?
you understood.
I was just really nervous.
You were really nervous?
I've never been stopped before.
Now, what do you think, Shahina, like, what's your estimation of how that defense normally goes? Like, that I was nervous that the police pulled me over.
Here's the thing, right? I don't know if you saw the entire instruction phase of it,
I don't
but
think so.
it was so bad if those were the instructions, right? Usually, after our officers in Illinois give the instructions, usually it's from a pre printed card because after every question, they have to ask the defendant or our client if they understand.
Right.
And then before they begin, they have to ask again if they understand, and then they ask you to officially begin. Now, I don't see the demonstration by the officer. Usually, the
No.
officer shows them how to touch heel to toe, how to do the turn, and then
Right.
take 9 heel to toe steps back. Here, there's none of that. And plus, you
No.
have an 18-year-old. I mean, if I were to get pulled over as a defense attorney, I would be so scared. Like,
Oh,
I had
yeah.
once a cop pull me over, but my heart dropped. Like, I
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, I know my rights, but I'm still so nervous. Like, as an 18-year-old who just was called out for messing up by switching seats, I can't even imagine what she's going through. She just wants to get home.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, yeah, the issue with this test too is exactly, there's no demonstration. I mean, they let her go 42 steps. There was a time where I actually tried to argue that because they took like 12. But I was like, they took 12 perfect steps. They went
Right.
above and beyond on their test. I mean, there's ways to manipulate these situations to our client's favor, but unfortunately, like, my feeling is that they're gonna definitely count this against her. And
I've argued the same thing. I let the judge know, it takes 9 heel to toe standard steps, but now my client's at 42. She doesn't stumble. She doesn't walk off the line. She's
Right.
trying to touch heel to toe in like a mini skirt.
right.
So as a defense attorney, you do have to manipulate the evidence to use it for our benefit.
Right. You can get creative, like
Yeah.
magical chairs. So,
Every man.
Let's go back by the car.
Let's go back here.
Do you want me to go like this?
No, you can just walk back to the car.
I don't know how to finish the test.
All
Poor
right.
girl.
This one last one that we have, okay, it's gonna be the one leg stand.
Okay.
All right. So what I want you to do, no using your arms for balance, no swaying. Okay. Keep your hands down at your sides. Look down at your foot off the ground 6 inches. Okay. And then you're gonna count out 1001, 1002, 1003, and so on until I tell you to stop. Do you understand so far? Do you have any questions? Okay.
It's 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Okay. You may begin.
305. Looking at your foot.
Based upon my indicators here, okay, I feel like I smell the alcohol on you when I'm speaking with you. Okay, even talking right now, you have bloodshot, watery eyes. What I'm going to do is you're under arrest for DUI. Okay.
Okay, so let's say she does perform the one leg stand, but I don't know if that was it or it
I
was
think they
like
must have cut
a
it. Yeah.
cropped portion. The instructions were kind of shitty. And then they never ask about if she has any injuries or anything
Nope.
that would prevent her from performing this test. Also, she's getting disturbed or disrupted while performing this test.
Right.
And as we all know, this is an attention divided test,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So if your attention is divided by any reason, here it seems like it's the officers causing that
Oh, yeah.
attention to be divided. I think it shouldn't be held against her.
No, I don't either. And I mean, you can see how officers build their case on the street too. You know, this officer's doing so much of the classic to put it on the body cam. I can smell the odor of alcohol coming from your breath. I can see that your eyes are bloodshot and glassy. I mean, there's almost like a script to
Right,
this. And I mean, this is the stuff that an experienced defense attorney can really help with because, you know, the bloodshot, glassy eyes. I always ask officers on the stand, did you ask where my client was coming from? If they were coming from work, how much sleep they got last night, if they have any allergies or medical conditions. Have you ever seen them prior to this night to know how their voice sounds, how their
Mhm.
eyes look? And I also just noticed on the body cam, this looks like it was Halloween of 2021. So
Oh, yeah.
I think they're probably already queued up to find some DUIs.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
you know, they can make it fit their narrative. They really can. It's kind of amazing.
And these observations that you make, slurred speech or red, bloodshot, glassy eyes, the odor of alcohol, the amount they smell, right? It's either mild or moderate to very, very strong.
Right.
You can't tell from any video. And the judges usually take the officer's word for it because
Oh, yeah.
obviously they believe that the officers can't lie. You know how that goes. So like these things putting on the record, so even if they don't even have the officer to testify, the arresting officer, they can still play his video, and then this is going to come into evidence.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And they didn't do a preliminary breath test or a PBT before
Yeah.
placing an arrest. That's interesting, too, just as a side note. Normally in the state of Illinois, they'd be offering one after all the standardized
Correct,
field
yeah.
sobriety tests. So let's see.
Because the reason being,
Under arrest right now.
yes, you are for driving under the influence. Why?
fine.
Because you were
You're
in.
fine.
You were because here's the thing. She was driving. You switched seats with her, and you are in possession of a vehicle that was.
So you don't have to explain it to her. She's under arrest. She's under arrest.
That
That's so
was really
shitty.
unnecessary.
I know.
Come on. Friendly.
This is why you don't do that. Because now she's in physical control of the car and now she's getting arrested for DUI.
And now she explains.
And then you're driving without an actual license, so you're both in the wrong here.
Oh, I don't know if she's going to be arrested too then.
Oh, I'm not fine. I'm not fine right now. You're fine. Do not panic. Just take a deep breath in and
Stop moving. Stop moving.
breathe in and breathe out. You're fine. Can I get my phone to call my dad?
I'll get your phone. I'll get your phone. Yeah.
Let me grab a pair of gloves and I'll search
Yep.
her.
Yeah, I don't want to be under arrest.
Here's the thing. You switch seats. You switch seats with her.
To protect my sister. She's
It doesn't.
my
It
sister.
does not matter. It does not matter. You became in possession of that vehicle.
Okay, I understand.
Okay. I watched you as I'm walking up. I watched you. You
Okay.
switched positions with her,
I get
and
it,
you became
but
in possession of the vehicle at that
I
point.
didn't want her to be in trouble. She's
should've
my
just said-
sister.
It doesn't matter. You
Don't
should have
talk
just
to
stayed
him.
put.
Don't talk
be
to
here right
him.
now if it
Just
wasn't
be
for that.
quiet.
Stop!
Okay.
Listen, this is why you don't switch seats with your sister. Okay? If she was at fault and she's not supposed to be driving,
It just
now you're taking the rep by getting a DUI because you're in control of the car. You see where I'm coming from?
yes.
All right, so that's why you don't do that. And she's sitting there telling you to be calm because she's not the one going to jail right now.
So now, I am now requesting that you submit to a lawful test of your breath for the purpose of determining its alcohol concentration. Okay. Will you take the test? Yes or no?
Do I have to answer that right now?
Yes, you have to answer. Yes or no?
No.
Okay. So you're refusing to take the test?
Just give me the test.
Okay. I need.
arrested right now, so
Okay.
it's fine.
Okay. Listen.
Do I
I'm not.
have to take that?
It's not. It's up to you, okay?
If I don't, what happens?
Okay, your license could be suspended, okay? So hold on, let me.
I will.
Okay,
I will.
so
It's fine.
let me ask you this again, okay? Plain as day, it's a closed-ended question. Will you take the test? Yes or no?
I don't know what to say right now.
It's a simple yes or no. You're an
Hey,
adult.
listen. Okay.
Okay, you're
so
an
it's
adult.
a simple yes or no.
I
if
don't
you-
know what to say.
Listen, if you say no, then he has to read you something else. Okay?
I don't. Yeah.
So
Why do they not read it before? That's
I
how
think
is
this is a breath test, like a breathalyzer test.
me too. Wish in the state
Because
of Illinois,
some-
sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, some state troopers carry this portable breath machine, right?
Right.
So I guess that's here's the thing, and it might be different in each state. You, by taking a breath test here in Illinois, does not mean that your license will be suspended.
Right, a portable one.
Yeah,
Right.
a
right.
portable one. Even if the real one, if you take it, doesn't mean that it's going to be suspended.
true,
If
that's
you
true.
take the breath test and blow over the legal limit, which
Right.
is 0.08, then you will be suspended for a
Exactly.
certain period of time. It's just the instructions are unclear, and I think they provide vague instructions to any client actually to mess with them.
so yes or no right now? Yes or no?
I don't know.
It's not. I can't do. I don't know.
I
If you
understand, but I
okay,
just.
stop right now. Stop. Okay. Right now you're going to jail for DUI. That's it. That's into that. Okay. Now the next
Read her,
part.
if she says no, just read
Okay.
that for her.
I'm gonna try this again with you. Okay. Will you take the test? Yes or no?
Yes. Okay.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go. Thank you.
All right. So I'm just gonna have you sign this as well. Basically, what this is a citation for doing 93 and a 45 unlawful speed. Okay. If I wouldn't stop you, you would have hit 100 easily.
Did you tell her to switch seats with you? Yeah? See why that was a bad idea? Now your sister's taking the rap and she's going to jail for a DUI. On the same token, if she knows you're not supposed to be driving, she shouldn't have been drinking tonight thinking that you were going to have to drive her home. Okay? You guys are both kind of in the wrong here. Yep, you're going to have to call mom or dad to come pick you up. Let them know what's going on.
Can I get my phone?
Yep.
Mom,
You can tell her the truth that you were driving and that you switched seats, or
I was the one driving, and then we switched seats, and they saw. So, and she was taking the fault for me. You come, only you.
well, who else is she wanting to bring that you're freaking out about? Your dad? Because he's going to be pissed probably, right?
Why does she care?
What is wrong with
I
this
don't know.
officer? She has no idea what their family life is
I
like to be
know.
asking this stuff. This
Right.
officer is making me really mad.
I know, like telling her what to tell her parents.
Right. Oh, incriminate yourself on my body camera. I would be really upset.
Well, you need to get in the car right now.
That's probably not a good way to talk to your mom. I'm assuming your mom's a little more
Shut up.
lenient than your dad, huh?
We were speeding because we were trying to get home because you guys kept calling and texting.
Hello. How are you?
Can you tell me the percent? Where's my daughter?
The other one?
Yeah.
The other officer is taking her over to the jail
Why?
for DUI.
Okay, what's the percent
What do you mean, what is the percent?
of the?
They do that when they get to the station.
No, but she didn't do it. Why you taking her because you didn't do it right here, right now?
I'm sorry, are you going to let me finish or are you going to interrupt me?
Ya cállate la boca,
You
cállate
talk
la
first.
boca. Tú cálmate.
Because if you want to ask me, I'll answer it for you, but you got to listen.
So, okay, so she did the breath breath
Once they
thing.
get to, I don't know if she agreed to it or not, but she did the walk and turn and the evaluations on the roadside here.
That's different. But she didn't do that.
Cállate la boca, estoy hablando con ella.
They're not taking my car.
Oh, yes, they are.
But
No, they're
why?
not.
Yes, they are.
But why?
Why they didn't
Because
take my
she's
car?
under-
I'm picking it up.
Because she's under arrest. And when somebody's placed under arrest for a DUI, we have to tow the car. That is our
No, that's
department.
not. What-
That is our department policy, absolutely.
No way. No way.
Yes.
No way.
They don't allow the parents to pick up the car?
No, sorry, they do not. You can pick it up once he tows it. You can work that out with him. If you want to go to the tow yard and prove that it's your car, then you can take it.
No. No.
Don't be upset with us, be upset with your daughter. She's the one who's in trouble, okay?
She's not in trouble.
Okay,
She didn't do no. She only do that thing. She was nervous.
all right,
That's it.
okay.
She's not a drinker. My daughter's not a
She
drinker.
admitted that she was drinking.
Okay, yeah, she might have like a drink, but she's not a drinker. Like she'll get drunk or something.
Okay.
Not a
You
drinker.
should have called me.
No, that's not how, she's 18 years old. That's not how it goes. She's an adult. Well,
She said they switched seats.
yeah. So, which is a big mistake on their part, on both of them. Because if she's not legally supposed to be driving,
She has her learners only.
right, which I think she got a court date for that as well. So I think they both technically, hers is still technically an arrest. She just has to show up to court on a date and a time rather than us physically taking her to jail. With DUIs, that's a physical arrest, so we have to physically take them to jail, and she has to be booked. So they did do the roadside sobriety. Obviously, she did not pass that. That's why she got arrested for DUI. I don't know if she agreed to provide a breath sample or not. I was the last one here to do the tow for them and to make sure she gets picked up. Okay?
Oh, they already
Anybody
transported.
else?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I thought they were with somebody else.
No, nope. Just them two were in the car.
Okay.
So, and also in the state of Florida, I mean, this is where they made the mistake is if the other daughter wasn't actually driving, she shouldn't have switched seats because then now she's in physical control of the vehicle. And once you're in physical control of the vehicle, that's enough to arrest somebody for DUI. You have the keys, you're sitting in the driver's seat. You know what I mean? You're welcome. I mean, I get it. They're young. They're out having fun. But technically, even at 18, she's
Yeah,
shouldn't.
I know.
10-4. All right.
All right.
Well, have a better night. Thank you.
I technically don't have a problem with this at all. Basically, I've towed it, in a sense. It's on my truck. He's the registered owner.
Mhm.
Okay, take it.
Okay, if he paid it and you want to release it to him, that's totally up to your call. The car's released to you at this point. I did my part. The tow sheet's done.
Thanks, officer.
You're welcome. Good night.
That's not what we do, right? We
No,
have to do
it's
an
a 12-hour
inventory.
hold,
Yeah,
yeah.
and an inventory search to see if we find anything illegal or anything that's not supposed to be there, things like that. It needs to be in the hold for 12 hours and then they can get it out.
It seems like there's a lot of cops in the kitchen on this one, so to speak,
Oh, yeah.
and nobody knows what they're doing.
Right. Older sister got a DUI.
Oh, that's a pretty high BAC.
Older sister got a DUI with a blood alcohol level of 0.138. The outcome was a dismissal. I'm sure it was just not an outright dismissal. I think it's some type of deferred prosecution
Right.
classes and things
Right.
like that, which is still a great outcome.
Yeah, in deferred prosecution, that's where basically a prosecutor might offer you to do some things in exchange for a dismissal.
Correct,
So,
yeah.
like for a DUI case, and I'm just speculating, obviously, but like you were saying, Shahina, maybe there's like you got to do classes, some community service, then we'll dismiss it. I don't really typically see that for a DUI here in the state of Illinois, unless there's like a burden of proof issue where the prosecutor sees something and they're like, wow, we're not going to be able to meet our burden of proof in this case. Maybe we'll try to give them a great deal so we still get something. And then our clients obviously are getting a dismissal.
Yeah.
But a 0.138, that's pretty high for just one drink. I don't know that she just had one,
But if she doesn't drink, would it still be?
I don't know that it would be that high because that's almost 2 times the legal limit.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. Honestly, though, I think this outcome, I'm glad that the case was dismissed. You know, not because maybe they weren't irresponsible, but I mean, at 17 and 18, I wasn't making the best decisions in my life
Correct.
either. And I feel for this woman. I mean,
Right.
I feel like she should have been able to have her parents there. I mean, I know she's 18, but I mean, my gosh, you know, there's reasons that there's laws about how police interview juveniles, you know, for coerced confessions and things like that. And this is one of those cases where I feel like they took advantage of how scared she was.
Yeah.
And I hate that. So, should we go into grades?
Yeah.
Let's go with older sister first. What do you think?
The issue is that I would have done that for my sister, right? If
Mhm.
I were letting my sister drive who has a learner's permit, knowing very well that she shouldn't be, and because I drank, she wasn't driving, so she took responsibility of getting drunk, and she's like, all right, I'll have you drive. But
Right.
now that they're pulled over, she's like, oh no, what should I do? Let's switch because I don't want you to get in any further trouble than you should be. So they switched seats. Was she dumb? Yes. Should she have done that? No. But is this the worst thing to happen and see on video? Absolutely not. So for that reason, I would give her a B. Like I said earlier in the video, it's better just to get through this and not make it any worse for yourself because you can get a felony too.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You can even make it worse than what it needs to be. So trying to cover up the crime is worse than just getting charged
Right.
with the crime that you are committing. So for that reason, I give her a B, the older sister.
Yeah, I agree with that assessment. You know, I want to give the older sister a lot of credit in a way. I mean, I'm not excusing drinking and driving at all, especially underage drinking and driving. I mean, unfortunately, even in our line of work, we see a lot of people who, you know, they die from this. And I
Yeah.
mean, it's a serious offense, but what I will say about the older sister is that just as a family person myself, you know, I get, you know, taking the rap for a family member, for a loved one, for a friend even, you know. And I mean, so I gotta give her as a sister, I would give her an A+. I mean, what a wonderful sister. I mean, you know, as an 18-year-old who's never sounds like she's never had any interaction with law enforcement, I'd give her a B too. Because I mean, these officers, and we'll get to their score, but I mean, they weren't exactly officer friendly to her.
Oh, yeah.
So, based on the circumstances, she handled that situation relatively well. I wouldn't play musical chairs in a DUI situation, but I would say that overall, great sister, and she did her best. I'll give her that. What about the younger sister?
The same score. I think just the officer having that conversation with the police officer made me a little uncomfortable because
Yeah.
she's 17. I would keep that in mind because she's still a defendant because you're
Right.
issuing tickets. You're trying to feed her information, things like that. So
Right.
she was very naive. I mean, I could tell like both of them didn't know what they were doing. And I wouldn't expect at that age, I
No.
wouldn't really expect that. But so for that reason, I'd give her a B. I would never try to switch seats with a sibling, friend, loved one because I'd rather take the fall for it
Yeah. I
than
mean,
make it worse.
I'd give her like a B, B-. The only reason I'm going a little lower is because when she was trying to do that mindfulness meditation, I would have slapped her.
I was like, because of
do
you,
not tell me to calm down. I am getting
Take
arrested
some
right now.
deep breaths.
Yeah,
in and
no,
out.
you know, just relax. You're getting put in handcuffs. No, I mean, friendly advice to people out there: don't tell somebody to calm down and do breathing exercises
Yeah.
and handcuffs.
I think the best thing you could do as a friend, a family member, or anyone in the car where someone's getting arrested is to call an attorney.
Exactly.
Tell them not to make any statements. Don't do anything. Just say respectfully, I don't want to do it. I
Yeah.
don't just say no because that
I'm
is within
invoking
your
my
right.
rights. Yeah. I mean, seriously, I feel like the number one concern that I have seen doing DUIs is when a person's getting arrested, they say, "Can I have my phone? Can I have my purse?" In this situation, if I was the sister, I'd say, "I'll call mom and dad. I'll handle it." Exactly like you said, Shahina. Just don't say anything more to them. I'll call them. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Get a, you know, an attorney down to the police station who can hopefully start to clean up some of this right away.
Right.
So, what about I mean, the officers were all kind of mushed together, but
Right.
what about the officers? What would you say?
Um, here's the thing. It's tough because the officer that pulled them over actually saw them swapping it out. And like you, no matter how tinted your windows are, you could still see movement, right?
Right.
There are officers unrelated to this, but who can see that someone's trying to put something under their seat, like
Right.
bending down, trying to get something. So the word of advice from all of us would be to keep your hand on the steering wheel when an officer is approaching. Obviously, because not that anything's going to happen, because we have to think about the officer too, right? He has a family to go back to, and he doesn't not want to be scared for his life. But he can definitely see the switching around. So that would have pissed me off as an officer. Like, what are you trying to cover up, right? Now the officer, the one that was arresting them, I think he did a decent job. I don't know if he explained the instructions well. I don't know if he was compassionate enough. But then again, I don't know if that's something that they need to be as an officer. But the female officer really ticked me off. Like
Oh, yeah.
she just pissed me off. She kept telling the sister what to do. She kept telling her, and like part of it was like legal advice, like don't do
Right.
that. And I'm like, all right, duh, no shit. I'm not gonna do that anymore. But like for that reason, I would give them like a B minus. They did their job. They did it well. It wasn't they didn't need to escalate situation or de-escalate situation. So I think this is like a standard DUI arrest. I just don't think they were compassionate enough or like kind enough to these young girls.
Yeah,
But
I
they
mean, I'll probably I'm gonna go a little lower for them. I'll give them a C. In this situation, like you said, I mean, we cut off during the field sobriety test exams, but I mean, I think there is a place for compassion and policing. Because especially when you look at these officers and they're supposed to be trained in de-escalation tactics, and you got two young people here. I'm sure they ran their plate, they ran their licenses. I'm sure they have no background. You're not dealing with hardened criminals here. I mean, was it smart for the sisters to switch spots? No, but as a human being, I can understand it. I think the officers may be able to too. I mean, I think that female officer, I would give the lowest, I'd give her like a C minus because there was no point in her putting those words in that young woman's mouth when she was on the phone.
Oh yeah, or that's not how you're supposed to talk to your parents.
Right.
Like,
I mean, hey,
thank you.
I'm not here for parenting
Right,
advice from you
no.
or how to be
A good child.
Exactly. Like you do your job, I'll do what I need to do.
Right.
I think I would be really interested. I wish there was a record on why this case was dismissed.
Yeah.
I mean, I think what I would be trying to argue is, there's nothing on body camera that shows them switch. There's some movements, I mean, you'd have to get around the admissions, which is
It's hard.
admittedly almost impossible to
Right, yeah.
do. But, I mean, whoever they had was a good lawyer. Maybe you flew down to Florida, Shahina, and we didn't even know. So Shahina's got a cape too in her closet. So
Yeah, I think it was overall what makes this case look a little appealing is the outcome. I
Yeah.
think if she took some type of misdemeanor charge, had to do a time in jail or like prison or whatever, I would give the sisters maybe a lower score or
Right.
like even the officers.
That's a good
But I
point.
think because it was dismissed, which is a very great outcome, and kudos to the attorney that represented them because this is an amazing outcome. It's very hard to get a DUI dismissed. It's easier to get a not guilty than to get a dismissal,
yeah.
in my opinion. But I think the attorney did a great job, which makes our score a little higher than they should be.
That's fair. That's fair. There's some inflation going on here.
11% to be exact.
Well, thanks for joining us today, guys. We saw two sisters, trying to do the best for each other. The officers, pretty standard DUI. I know I wish they were a little nicer, but thanks for joining us. Leave your comments, your thoughts below. We'd love to hear them.